All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack one of the most incredible scenes in all of Buddhist literature, from the Karuna Pundarika Sutra. Now, this isn't just some old story. Think of it as a literal blueprint for building entire universes, all born from the amazing dreams of ancient Bodhisattva princes. But before we get into all that, let me ask you something. If you had a blank slate and you could create your perfect world, what would it look like? What would be your top priority? No more suffering? Perfect harmony? Just hold that thought. Because that's pretty much the exact same question these princes were asking themselves, just on a cosmic scale. So picture this. You've got this massive assembly in front of a Buddha named Ratnagarbha. And in this crowd are 1,000 princes. One by one, they step forward to make a promise, to declare their ultimate intention for the future. And that act, that promise, well, that's the very heart of this whole thing. So what exactly is a bodhisattva vow? Well, it's not just, a simple wish. It's a huge public commitment. And the idea behind it is unbelievably selfless. It's basically saying, I'm going to achieve the highest possible state of enlightenment, not for me, but so I can create the absolute best conditions to help every single other being do it too. And here's where it gets really cool. After a prince makes his vow, the Buddha gives what's called a prophecy, or a vyakarana. This is like the ultimate cosmic seal of approval. The Buddha doesn't just say, nice job. He confirms that the vow is going to happen. And he even predicts the bodhisattva's future name as a Buddha and details the world they're going to create. It's cosmic validation. So you see, these vows aren't just abstract ideas. They are incredibly detailed blueprints for what are known as pure lands or Buddha fields. We're talking about entire universes designed from the ground up through pure intention. So let's look at a couple of these blueprints because they are fascinatingly different. Okay, first up, we've got the seventh prince. His whole idea is about creating a world of absolute external perfection. He wants to wipe out every single possible source of physical hardship. And the details are just, wow. He imagines a world where the ground is made of agate and is totally dust-free. There are no mountains or oceans to make things difficult. Forget the sun and moon, you tell time by watching flowers open and close. People are just born spontaneously inside golden lotuses, so there's no sickness, no old age, no suffering. The very concept of doing something wrong doesn't even exist. It's a complete physical paradise. Now, in complete contrast, let's look at the ninth prince. He's way less concerned with what the world looks like on the outside. His focus is almost entirely on the inner state of the people who live there. He's designing a world that's perfected from the inside out. In this world, it's all about the mind. The three poisons, lust, anger, and ignorance, are practically non-existent. Everybody naturally just does good things. The idea of crime is gone. Even the word for it is gone. And his number one priority is that everyone has a deep, intuitive understanding of no self. Even life itself begins differently, through just a loving gaze, freeing women from any physical hardship. It's a world built on pure psychological and spiritual peace. So after these princes make these incredibly powerful vows and get their prophecies, they are fundamentally changed. The Buddha gives them new bodhisattva names, which signifies that they are now on a new path, and there's no turning back. It's a total spiritual transformation. And you can really see this before and after right here. The seventh prince becomes lion's fragrance. The ninth prince becomes the immovable, or Akshobhya, who will eventually become Akshobhya Buddha. But pay close attention to the eighth prince. He becomes universal worthy, or Puxien. You're going to want to remember that name, because his vow is about to change everything. Okay, this is where the story just hits its absolute crescendo. We've seen these magnificent individual vows. But what happens when one aspiration is so big, so unbelievably courageous, that it sets off a massive chain reaction of inspiration? The eighth prince, Pu Xian, steps forward. But his vow, it's just on a completely different scale. He doesn't just want to create one perfect world. He vows to take on the staggering task of transforming 10,000 impure worlds and to make every single one of them as perfect as the worlds the other princes imagined. Just let that number sink in. 10,000 worlds. The sheer audacity and compassion of this vow just electrifies the entire assembly. And among them, there are 10,000 people who are so moved, so deeply inspired by his courage, that they make a collective vow of their own. They all declare that they too will strive for enlightenment, but not just anywhere. They vow to do it specifically within the 10,000 worlds that Pakshian just promised to purify. They are literally tying their spiritual destinies to his. Can you even imagine that scene? A single, impossibly huge vow has just triggered 10,000 more. And so, the Buddha turns to them and starts giving prophecies, not just to one prince, but to every single one of these 10,000 inspired people. And the prophecies are just mind-blowing. The Buddha declares that in the future, 1,000 of them will become Buddhas, all with the same name. Then, another 1,000 will become Buddhas, all with another name, and on and on. A single person's vow literally created a future filled with thousands upon thousands of Buddhas. And this is the ultimate takeaway of the whole story. The power of a single, great, selfless aspiration isn't linear. It's exponential. Puxian's vow didn't just chart his own course. It created a pathway for countless others to follow. So what do we take away from all this, from these ancient cosmic blueprints for compassion? I mean, the scale is obviously huge, but the principle behind it is actually deeply personal. After Puxian gets his prophecy, the Buddha shares this verse with him. It just captures the whole thing perfectly. It's about crossing that difficult river of suffering, not just for yourself, but to help everyone else get to the other side too. Look, most of us probably aren't going to be designing new universes anytime soon. But what this sutra shows us is that the simple act of setting a positive, selfless intention, whether it's for our family, our community, or the world, has a real, tangible power. It can transform us, and just like Puxian's vow, it can inspire those around us in ways we can't even imagine. So I'll leave you with this. If you strip away the cosmic scale for a minute and just look at the pure intention at the heart of these stories, what kind of perfect world, big or small, can your own aspirations help to build? What inspiration can these incredible ancient vows offer us, right here, today?